My name is Karen Walch, and I am an emeritus faculty at Thunderbird School of Global Management. I am partners with my husband, Paul Kinzinger, who's also an emeritus faculty at Thunderbird School of Global Management. My husband and I have an organization called Clair-Bouyant Leadership, and we have a web page. And as a co-creator of Quantum Negotiation, I also have a link to our product called Quantum Negotiation. He comes from the more strategy, business intelligence side, and I've always been interested in the emotional and social side. So we're good partners in that sense, that if somebody's looking for more organizational and strategic focus, and then you combine that with the leadership and the personal development focus, that's our brand. I am a co-creator of a certification program and a coaching program and a training program on negotiation. It came out of the 30, 40 years I've been working in the global space. That is, I've been studying human behavior in cross-cultural situations. I've had a lot of experience working with executives, both in executive MBA programs, and in my executive coaching and executive education. We've worked with shipping, oil and gas, with product services, water pumps, school systems. In the last 10 years, there's been so much more volatility, so much more uncertainty, and this disruption that many companies and leaders are finding today are calling into question, how do I manage my own leadership capability? Sometimes we need to be much more strategic, and other times we need to be much more operational. Sometimes we need to be much more directive, other times we need to be much more engaging. So what we are finding is that the more clear you are in terms of who you are, the more you can be anchored to who you are and who you're not, who you want to be and who you want to work with, the more capable you are to style shift or to be buoyant. That buoyancy or style shifting can't be just a cognitive exercise. It has to be one where you're extremely clear of your whole human existence, your whole human presence, the way you feel physically, emotionally, and socially, in order to really be able to style shift effectively. And one way to do that is to just define transactional negotiation strategies with transformational negotiation strategies. There are many situations where we just would do a transactional price negotiation, for example, and the substance of the outcome is going to require me to just use trade, give and take. And the relationship isn't really that critical. However, for most of the leaders that I work with, they are in much more complex situations where not only is the substance important in the outcome, but the relationships are critical. So if you're going to transform a negotiation process or have a solution that's going to be an exponential solution, it's going to require bringing out, as a negotiator, as a leader of a team, negotiation team, for example, bring out what's been invisible to bring that more visible. That is, what are my cultural preferences in terms of how I would like to negotiate? And then, how would I style shift to build working trust with my counterpart? For example, if I'm a very fixed time individual, I come from an organization that has very fixed time preferences, I will only reward those who meet a schedule, meet a deadline. However, I'm negotiating with a new organization or a national culture that actually prefers fluid time. They will spend a lot of time on the relationship, understanding what are the fundamental connections that we have with one another. If I can be buoyant and I can style shift to that, I can actually pace with that. I can actually then lead with that, and I'm matching, so then I can lead with them. But I need to be anchored and true and strong in myself, so I can actually try these new behaviors. The way we work with people is to oftentimes have maybe a week-long workshop, and in some cases it may be just a week-long workshop and then maybe some coaching for 6 months after that. Other cases, we're working with organizations that will actually have a year-long program. In other cases, it might be maybe a 6-month engagement. You meet once in the beginning and once in the end. But I would say the primary focus of the work that we do is working with coaching in between, because we're really looking at, there's such an immunity to change for all of us. It's just a human and an organizational phenomenon, is that once you become aware of what your habits are that are not working any longer, that kind of reinforcement with a coach actually helps you move and accelerate your development to be able to think differently and to adopt new habits and feel comfortable with new behaviors.